Relive the majestic Renaissance period in Masters of Renaissance, Lorenzo il Magnifico, the card game. Thank you for joining me today at Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Kevin Dupp. Masters of Renaissance is a 1 to 4 player resource management engine building game. It takes about 30 minutes to play. It's published by Cranio Creations, and they sent us this copy to review. You'll place the tray out with the colored marbles, resource supply, and a grid of development cards. Players receive a player board, faith marker, tiles, and a hand of leader cards. You have to choose 2 of them and discard the other 2 before the game begins. Players also receive resources and faith depending on turn order. Here's a quick overview of the game. You're going to be gaining resources, and you're going to be placing them in your warehouse and then using those resources to buy development cards. Eventually, you're going to be able to activate those development cards on your player board, and they're going to get you more resources that you'll be able to put in your strong box, which is even better. The person with the most points at the end of the game wins. On your turn, you can choose to do one thing, like taking resources from the market. You would choose a row or column and take those resources. The different resources are referenced here. The white marbles don't give you anything. You then take the extra marble and push it in the row or column that you chose from. Then place those resources in your warehouse. You have to keep the same resources together, and you cannot have the same type of resource in different levels. But you can move your resources around, which is nice. Or, on your turn, you could purchase a development card. You have to build a level 1 first. Place it on your player board. You can only put level 2s on top of level 1s regardless of color, and level 3s have to be on the level 1s and 2s. Or on your turn, you could activate your developments. You have to already have the resources, so you can't use resources you collect during this turn to activate other cards. All these new resources that you get go into your strong box, and there's no limit or restriction on the kinds of resources your strong box can hold. These resources can be used to fund purchases and help run your developments. Players will also be going up the faith track from their development cards or activating that red marble from the market. Once a player reaches the Pope hat on these spots, the game is paused and all players check to see if their faith marker is in that section. If it is, then turn over the victory point tile. If not, then discard that tile from the game. Also, as soon as you meet the requirements of one of your leaders, you can play it. They'll help you reduce costs of development cards, give you more spaces to hold resources, help you get more faith, or even make the white marbles a specific resource. Play continues until someone reaches the end of the faith track or someone builds their 7th development card. Then you'll finish the round out and count up points to see who wins. Points from all your development cards, where you are on the faith track, any revealed favor tiles, played leader cards, and every 5 resources is a point. And the person with the most points wins the game. Now, this game is set in the same world as Lorenzo il Magnifico, but the gameplay between these 2 games is totally different. Now, there are some similarities. You'll see that in the graphic design and illustrations, and even things like there's faith in both of the games. Like in Lorenzo il Magnifico, you sort of had to be in the church's good graces to do well in the game. It says the card game on the box. Yes, there are cards in the game, but I think I was expecting just cards. There's actually a lot more with the market tray, marbles, and resource tokens. Beginning of Masters of Renaissance, you are going to the market a lot, and you're getting your resources to get the development cards you need. There's this shift halfway through the game where you are not going to the market as much, and you're really activating those development cards, which really is building your engine in the game. But I really like how the market works with those rows and columns. It's just really fun. Now this says Lorenzo il Magnifico, the card game. I don't know if I would call it the card game. I mean, there's definitely similarities like I talked about earlier. I think I would really just say Masters of Renaissance, a game set in the world of Lorenzo il Magnifico, and just leave off the card game. Although even saying that, the theme really only comes through in the art and illustrations. You are basically just getting resources, buying cards with them, and moving your token up a track. There's a lot of replayability in Masters of Renaissance with how the market works, the number of leaders you get. I actually wish there was more cards in the game, and maybe you just wouldn't use them all or something like that. There's actually more cards in Lorenzo Il Magnifico than this one. I do like how the cards work with building the level 1s first, then level 2, and then level 3. Getting the right development cards into your player board is key to building a good engine and, of course, winning the game. Now, you do have to be careful because as you build those higher levels, you are placing them on top of the lower levels. You'll still get the victory points for all the cards you have on your player board at the end of the game, but you really have to be careful. I remember there was one game where I bought a level 3 card, but I had to place it on top of a level 2. That sort of messed me up because that level 2 card was really helping me with my engine, so when I placed it on top, I had to sort of change up my tactics. And if you're interested, the back of the rulebook shows you how to play the solo mode of the game. I'm a really big fan of the original Lorenzo Il Magnifico, and these two are just different games. I don't even know if they're comparable. This one plays in 1 to 2 hours, where this one plays in 30 minutes. I love how the marbles work in this game. It's just really fun. It sort of reminds me of games like Potion Explosion or Gizmos. So if this sounds like something you would enjoy, you like engine building games, then check out Masters of Renaissance from Cranio Creations. And as always, we would love for you to subscribe to Tantrum House and check out all our videos coming soon.